Hello, how's guys? Welcome to another section of subsection of SMC public mentorship. In this specific video, we'll be discussing some of the trade breakdowns as well, some of the questions recently asked about us inside our Discord server about SNDs and all those shits will be discussed inside this specific video. Okay, and at the end of the video, the same concept that we'll be discussing inside this video, the PDF notes of all those stuff will be provided inside our Discord server. So make sure watch out my Discord server. The links would be obviously in the video description. Okay, so let's start with today's public mentorship on SNDs. Basically, SNDs are supply and demand zones. These are the areas on the charts where SMC is involved, or maybe the institutions or banks or big bank wants to move the market to get out of their negative positions, to move the market in more higher if it's bullish. Okay, we had been discussing that we need three entry criteria for our trade breakdowns. The first is structure, second is SND, and third one is confirmation. We already discussed structures in detail and don't need to discuss that shit anymore. Okay, so first of all, you have to identify what is basically a supply or a demand zone. A supply or demand zone, any area on the chart where SMC is involved to get out of their negative position, because at the demand zone SMC was firstly bearish. They wanted to trap all those retail shits who were heavily bearish. They first closed some of their shorts and moved the market obviously bullish. Moving the market bullish, some of their orders were left behind. That's why these areas are areas where liquidity lies, because institutions have to get out of their negative positions. Okay, so we're gonna discuss all these shits in a second on candlesticks in details. Okay, so first of all, let's see what were the questions that were recently asked from us on our Discord server. Okay, because first question is basically what is an SND, that has been already answered, and which SND we have to prefer. Okay, now SND is basically the last unmedicated candle that gave you a break of structure. Okay, retails consider SND to be any unmedicated candle, to any unmedicated candle anywhere on the chart. They consider this to be an SND. That's why they get fucked everywhere on the charts. Okay, so let's suppose this is a bullish order flow chart and we have unmedicated candle right here, the other unmedicated candle is right here, and the other unmedicated candle is right here. Now there are three unmedicated zones, and retail shits are being considering all these areas to be an area of demand, and that's why they are getting fucked again and again. Okay, so for me, the last unmedicated candle is this that caused the break of structure. For me, the demand zone is only and only this. Okay, this is not a valid demand zone because these are not the SNDs or the unmitigated candles that cause the break of structure. That's why INC or big bang or institutions are not involved at these shits. Okay, they simply are involved just to trap you more and destroy your trade setups. Okay, for me, the SND is only that unmedicated candle that caused a break of structure. That's why these two shits are not SND for me, and this is basically a demand zone for me, and I will be looking for potential buys from this demand zone. And why does this trade fail? It actually did not, because if price moves such with fast momentum, it does not give us confirmation even on tick charts. Okay, that we'll be discussing on 1 minute time frame as well. Okay, for retails who are considering this unmedicated candle as demand zone, they got negative trade right here and negative trade again right here, and this is also where they lost their trade setups. Okay, so why didn't price hold this SND? The answer is quite simple. After SND, the third thing we need is confirmation, and if I get on 1 minute time frame, this is the smallest time frame which I can achieve right here, because I won't give shit to seconds time frame, because structure shifts back and forth multiple times in that time frame. Okay, the last thing we need is confirmation, and even in this did not give us confirmation. Even with Wyckoff, and even we didn't get any double shift in structure to take a long trade on this. Okay, so the answer of the first question was quite simple. Which SND to prefer that SND that gave you a break of structure, that unmitigated candle. Okay, that gave you the break of structure. Okay, two SNDs at one zone. Which SND would you prefer? First of all, identify institutional order flow. Institutional order flow was previously bullish, that shifted bearish. Okay, bullish and shifted bearish. Now which unmitigated candle did this break of structure? And now there are two unmitigated candles. One is right here and the other is basically, let's get on 15 time frame on this chart, so it would be easy for you to understand. Okay, institutional order flow previously was bullish and shifted bearish by this high. It was the recent high, and this was the low that was broken from this high, and the unmitigated candles that caused this break of structure was these two. Now there are two perfectly unmitigated candles, and now which one you have to prefer? Prefer that unmitigated candle as your supply zone that has area of inefficiencies in the form of imbalances below. Okay, because imbalances work as area of liquidity for INC to take price till that area to get out of the negative positions. Okay, so this low was basically broken from this high, and we had two unmitigated areas. If price moves, it's basically a live chart. If price moves up again till this area and this area, I won't give shit to this as supply zone. Rather, I would be considering this to be as a valid supply zone. Why? Because if you zoom in the chart, you would see we have area of inefficiencies between these three candles in the form of imbalance. And if you find confirmation in that at this SND, your stop loss would be barely above this, and it can be easily triggered because above is another SND, and obviously there is an area of imbalance too. Okay, if both SNDs are unmedicated, which SND to prefer, and if both SNDs don't have any area of inefficiencies. Okay, so let's consider there is not any imbalance shit inside this chart. So which SND will you consider? Okay, for this you have to shift on high time frame, and a high time frame does not mean on which time frame I will shift. You also shift on that time frame. Okay, high time frame shifting means shift on that high time frame which gives you a clear bias to your chart. Okay, for me, I am on 15-minute time frame, and if I shift on 45-minute time frame, this will give me a clear bias. That's why I'm shifting simply from 15 minutes towards 45 minutes. And if I shift from 15 minutes towards 45 minutes, what I see is basically only one unmitigated candle that caused this break of structure. Now the idea is quite simple. I don't have any two SNDs inside this chart. I have only one unmitigated candle that caused this break of structure, and for me it's quite simple to take this only as valid supply zone rather of giving shit towards this SND. Okay, so that's the reason why I'm waiting for the price to find sells from this unmitigated SND rather from this red one. Okay, so refining it furthermore, this is completely our SND. This was the last unmitigated candle that caused this break of structure. If I refine this shit, we call this as a advanced SND. If we refine this shit, consider only the wick of this to get a better RR. We refine this basically, and if I refine this SND, I get only the wick of this unmitigated candle as my supply zone, and I will be finding short from this wick area, stop loss just above the high that caused this break of structure. Okay, that was the third, I think so, question. And the last question asked is, now the last question is very important, and we'll be going towards a breakdown of our trade like bell that we gave you on our YouTube short too. The question is very simple: if high time frame is bullish and lower time frame supply zone should be considered or not. Okay, this means if 1 day time frame is basically bullish and leaving behind a demand zone right here, and 4 hour or maybe 1 hour shifted bearish, should you consider shorts from this supply zone or not? Okay, so the answer of this is very simple. If institutional order flow is bullish, try to find only longs on small time frames too, because it has been back tested as live too, that if you find shorts inside a bullish institutional order flow, that gives you more losses as compared to the higher ones. Okay, so this is time to break down how did we caught a perfect 1 hour 25 trade inside this 1 hour 7 trade. Okay, so for that you have to understand institutional order flow. First of all, institutional order flow was bullish on this chart, leaving behind the demand zone at this area. Once price came down, it collected some of the SLs of those retail shares who were considering this to be a support area. Once price moved down, it gave us confirmation through DC candle, and we took this trade. But apart from that, how did we traded this 1 hour 25 right inside this 1 hour 3 right? That we'll be discussing on small time frame. Remember, high time frame is bullish, 1 day is bullish, so for us first preference should be finding only and only longs to target this high. Okay, so to do so, we shift on 1 hour time frame and so on and so forth to get a better RR. 1 hour was clearly bearish, was shifting bearish. 1 hour was clearly shifting bearish, and once 1 hour shifted bullish from this supply zone, did not respected this, because one day was bullish, 4 hour was bearish, 1 hour did not respected this and shifted bullish. This was first dog block and the other dog block. Once price shifted bullish twice, it left behind the area of demand, and we will be considering this area to be as an area of demand to find potential longs from this area. Okay, why were not we long from these areas? Because 1 hour was bearish, we waited for 1 hour to shift bullish. Once 1 hour shifted bullish twice, gave us an area of demand, and now this is the area to find confirmation through Wyckoff, through DC candles, to ride this trade again with better RR this time. Okay, so what happened? Price created an area of demand, went all the way up, and now came down, mitigated it, and gave us confirmation through DC candles. This was the candle 1, candle 2, and candle 3, and we took this trade, and it would have given us 25-hour trade setup. But if you zoom in the chart, you would have lost one trade too right here. 1 loss and 1 win means 50% win rate. That's not a bad deal. Okay, that's it. That all the questions that been asked from us inside our Discord server has been answered inside this quick video. Make sure to join my Discord server for free. You can access some of the sections of this server for free too, so make sure to check out my Discord server. That's enough for today. Make sure to subscribe my YouTube channel. Thanks for watching.